Hmm. What story shall I tell today? Oh, I know. How about the story of the Grim Reaper? Truly a fascinating tale. But rather than telling of one of his many adventures in purgatory, why not start at the beginning? Before he was the Reaper of Souls. When he was but a simple boy that wanted to help as many as he could. Tragically, one day his life was cut short. Much to the dismay of his dear friend that always accompanied him. His guardian angel, so to speak. But when the boy awoke again, he was neither up or down, but the realm in between. Limbo. He was confused, understandably so, as he did not know where he was, nor did he realize that he was no longer in the land of the living. He wandered and wandered and wandered for who knows how long. Could have been hours, days, even years. But eventually he found someone else. But the boy could tell there was something off about that person. You see, being in limbo, that was no ordinary person. Rather, it was a lost soul. More specifically, a soul who wandered limbo so long that they've forgotten their past and the afterlife they were supposed to go to. At the time, souls such as these were extremely common, much to the dismay of the higher powers, who were unable to guide those souls to where they needed to go due to humanity's free will. The boy, being the good-natured person that he was and not knowing any better, approached the lost soul and asked if they needed help. Soul didn't know what to make of the boy, for they hadn't seen another human for as long as they could remember. Or at least what they thought was human. And because of that, the sight of the boy fascinated them. The boy and the lost soul conversed for a while, which, through conversation, the boy was able to piece together that he was in limbo. But he didn't let that get to him, for he had no regrets. He did what he could in life, and he's proud of what he's done, which helped him keep his resolve, and only fueled his determination further. He didn't know how he could help the lost soul, but he still wanted to nonetheless. So he started with what he knew best. He asked the soul to tell them a bit about himself, but not necessarily in life, or in limbo, or what they were like in life or in limbo. Just how they were, what they remembered, and things of that nature. Which served a dual purpose. Not only would it, in theory, help the lost soul recollect themselves, it would also allow the boy to learn more about limbo, given the lost soul had anything to say about it. The soul had trouble talking about their life before death, After all, they were a lost soul who forgot their life. But there was something about the boy. Something that caused the soul to start to remember. And that was truly a magnificent feat for the boy. As prior to this, no one was able to cause a soul to remember. The boy achieved something that even angels or demons or even other higher powers were unable to do. And those higher powers took notice. And by some twist of fate, both the boy and the soul were meant to go to the same afterlife. They were both meant to go up. And the soul asked the boy if they could travel together. And naturally, the boy obliged. After all, he didn't want his new friend forgetting what he just remembered. While traveling, this duo encountered more lost souls. Souls that perhaps were even worse off than the first lost soul. As with the first one, something about the boy caused them all to remember. And it was truly fascinating to see and hear. Just the moment of realization, the moment that they remembered. And as not everyone is meant to go up, some of those souls were meant to go down. But the boy didn't care. He cared not what they were like in life. He just wanted to get them to where they needed to go. He didn't want them to forget again. As to the boy, wandering limbo for eternity would be a fate worse than death. A fate worse than even going down. So the boy allowed everyone to accompany him and his new friends, even if fate would have them be separated in the end. Eventually, this group of ragtag individuals eventually found their way up. And, although a bit cliche, what they saw was a staircase. Everyone meant to go up that staircase was ecstatic. Except for the boy. Because he still had things he needed to get done in limbo. Or at least, things he felt he had to get done. He still wanted to guide every lost soul he met to where they needed to go. So he, and those meant to go down, continued exploring. And as fate would have it, they did just meet more people. Eventually, limbo was empty. The boy did it. Or rather, there was only one inhabitant left in limbo at the time. And that was himself. He'd guided everyone that needed to go up, up, and everyone that needed to go down, down. And He was happy. Happy that he could further help. Eventually, the boy found his way to the staircase again. And he knew it was time for him to go up. And that's just what he did. He found himself in one of the most magnificent places he's ever seen. And for his deeds in Limbo, and doing what no one else before him could do, he was granted audience with the higher power, the one known as the Creator. As the Creator wanted to congratulate the boy. Congratulate him on a feat no one has ever done before. The boy was surprised to hear that he was special. After all, he only did what he felt was right. He didn't feel like he deserved congratulations. Staying as humble as he was even in life. So, a thought came to his mind. If he was special, if he was the only one that could guide those where they needed to go, why not strike, or at least attempt to strike up an offer with the Creator? And so that's what he did. He asked if he could be the one to guide souls to where they needed to go. And the Creator was hesitant. After all, becoming the Reaper was something never done prior. And doing so would, well, remember how the boy said that wandering in Limbo forever would be a fate worse than death? That's what he would be forced to do as the Reaper. He would be locked out of his afterlife. So the Creator told him this. But the boy... No. It doesn't feel right to call him a boy at this point. But given how he hasn't officially become the Reaper yet, I suppose calling him just a boy for a little bit longer will be alright. This boy. Even after knowing the cost of being the Reaper, as he would later be called, and didn't stop him. He was still adamant, and the Creator had to oblige. And that's how the Reaper came to be. But that's far from where his story ends. This is only a beginning. Only his origin. But any further tales be left for another day. But until that day comes, I'll just have to leave the story here.